Friends, good morning. I'm Jason, and today we're talking about guitar. Imagine that. Yeah, we're going to talk about some guitar this morning, and hopefully, I'm sure we are bound to have an awesome morning together. And if you don't mind, we'll start with tuning and get that going for us. So welcome. All right, so let's take a look. We'll start with the tuner, and we'll start with, well, it seems like it's in tune. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Well, the D string's a little bit out, a wee bit out. I think this morning is going to be a especially chill morning, and especially sort of like just an easy time this morning. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, Robbie, for chiming in. I think our brother Kevin's got a thing today, so thanks for being here. How was your day yesterday? Did you have? I hope you had a good day. I hope you enjoyed the day yesterday. Yeah, a really simple approach this morning. Just starting with the guitar, saying good morning to the guitar. Just a good morning, and setting an intention for the day would be this is about where I start thinking about this. I always try to set an intention that is positive and, guitar related, but sometimes it becomes something about, sometimes life grabs us by the bullhorns and steers around for a little bit. No pun intended. Guitar's a little out of tune here. There's the culprit. It's a 5 o'clock world with I gotta stop thinking about songs here and then just get back to the work at hand. Hey, Mark, good morning. Hey, good morning, Dewey, good morning. Good morning, Dewey. Good morning, Mark, again, morning crew. Good morning, Dewey, it's awesome. Oh yeah. Hey, Chill, thank you so much for sharing some of those images, man. What a great time. What a brilliant time. All right. So here we go. So starting with 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 2 and 4. Let's start with 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4, and we're just starting with the old. Good morning, Christoph. Wow, chat is back. Good morning. Bravo, Weezer. Oh yeah, right on. Very cool. I got a few in there. So let's get started. Good morning. We're rolling right away, right down the highway right now. Guitar Kane, what's going on? What's the hardest song you could play? Oh, let's see. Let's see. Well, the hardest, I don't know if it's the hardest song, but it's like one of the coolest pieces of music. I don't know if you remember, this is what gained me admission. Part of my audition into Berklee College of Music was the Eugene's Trick Bag, and that was a pretty cool piece of music. I won a few things, a few bucks with that or something here and there along the road, but that was a long time ago. That was a whole lifetime ago. What's your favorite song, Guitar King? So if you're just stumbling in, if you're just scrolling into this, situation we're just working on, this is my morning ritual for guitar growth. I do this every I guess it's weekday morning. I guess it's every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's really good to have you here. Of course, I'm talking to you, both you and my guitar. My guitar is, I just wanted to. I've never named a guitar before. And this guitar is called Tweety. And I just think it's kind of a cool thing to have a guitar that is named. I've never really considered it. So we're moving on to fingers 1 and 2, stretching the old fingers out. That's right. And just walk with me. If you are here and you're a guitar practitioner, you might want to, you feel free to grab your guitar and follow along and see what we can see together. But if you walk through this, the reason why I'm doing this exercise, I don't know if you're new here, it might be worth explaining. If you've been here with me for a little while, if we have a history together on this morning chat, I'll tell you why I'm doing this. I'm going to share with you why I'm doing this, okay? So just hang on just one moment and then we'll get into that story. So we're starting with 2 finger groups. We're using contiguous fingers, and then what we're going to do is use what? Oh, there we go. Non-contiguous finger groups, and then we're going to use these two fingers. So we've already been through the contiguous finger groups. So why don't we use fingers 2 and 4? I'll tell you what. Why don't we use fingers 2 and 4? Here we go. On 9 and 12. 1 E and 2, T E and 4. Good morning. I see Anonium. Good Gregoire. Hello. I've got a small viewport here, so I'm having a difficult time reading some of your names, but thank you for being here. Love seeing the thumbs up. Sky, good morning. No mod, let's go crazy. Yeah, that's right. O'Neill, son, good morning, O'Neill. It's great to see some new faces. It's great to see new faces. Just a brief show of hands, like how many of you here are guitar players and actually practicing along with this morning ritual for morning ritual for guitar growth. Don't forget to breathe, by the way. Man, breathing is supremely important. Fingers 1 and 3 on 9 and 12, and we're continuing at. You hear that click? That click is the metronome, as you may well know. But that metronome has got a, some kind of governance over, and certainly some fundamental levels of influence over what we do together in these live expressions of warm up. So you can, well, let's jump back into why I'm here, why I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? It's, smash that like button. That's right. Mark, thank you so much for just kind of doing a little light housekeeping here. F. Stover, good morning. So yeah, this is a good warm-up exercise. So if you're just tuning in, I would recommend grab your guitar and join me. I'm here every weekday morning through the entire year of 2025. And I'm working on my morning ritual. It's a morning ritual for guitar growth. And so we're working on growing with the guitar, becoming the better person than we were yesterday. Every day is a slow roll towards victory. So here we go. And it's not really a scale. What we're using fingers patterns. We're patternizing our fingers, and this is sort of pre-scale work. This is fingers. This one's 1 and 4 on, with a 5-fret spread, and we're just working a stretch. We're just trying to get these fingers awake and get them all lively in a lively spirit, a good positive spirit, and we're doing that with the metronome at 60 beats per minute and 4 attacks per beat. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, T4, 1, 2, T4. And that's very simple. And we do this because we enjoy the guitar, and why don't we practice songs? Well, we do practice songs. We do practice songs a little later on in the day. This is my literal first-hand experience with the guitar every morning. So I like to start earlier, but for some reason we settled on 7:30 as our start time. So fingers, all right, we finished all the 2 finger groups. Now we have the 3 finger groups. We have the last 3, and then we have the first 3, and then we have these other 3 groupings. So we'll do all of those, and then we'll take a stretch after the 4 groups. 1 E and 2. You know what to do. Jill, good morning. Good morning. Good, you're playing along. Good idea. Hey, Guitar King, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate I kind of like to learn a little bit about what it is you're playing and what your interests are. So if you don't mind sharing, you're more than welcome to do that. love to hear more from you, and thank you again for checking in and subscribing. We appreciate growing the posse here, the Picker Posse. But yeah, stop back again sometime, anytime you like. It's free for the entire year of 2025. So Jill's playing with along with us this morning, focused on the finger exercises. De nada. There you go. Lex, good morning. Yeah, way to go. Way to get here, Lex. Nice work. Ms. Bourgeois, Jill here is building guitars as we speak. Just an amazing week or two over there. Just having a blast. It looks like just a wonderful time. So fingers 1 and 2 and 3 on 10, 11, and 12. You see the guitar from the inside out, and you're witnessing the birth of the creation process. It's easy just to say the creation process, but when we're engaged in the creation process, like kind of what we are now, we're kind of engaged in the act of creation now. Each little tone is its own little life or little universe, and if we can think about that every time we approach the guitar, then we can really start making some beautiful music. If all we're doing is playing for the sake of vanity, that's cool, with looking for magazine covers and promotional content. That's great. I think we need to do that a little bit, but there's always this part of me that loves that and wants to run after that, chase that down. But there's another part of me, I don't know, I think this dichotomy exists in us all, I think, a little bit. But we're all those people who, have an affiliation, an affection for music that is such that we understand the power of music. Or we're at least understanding of coming to know music, and our history as humans. Let's do fingers 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, and 4 on 9, 10, and 12. Let's sit around the campfire and dance and play music and pray for rain. Let's say we need some rain, or we need to remove a sickness from the village or something. So those musical experiences can be very, very useful, and healing and productive. And also, in today's age, in the age of the modern guitar, there are a lot of angles to play. And then one of those angles would be, getting ourselves familiar with a linear approach to the instrument. So warming up the fingers in this linear fashion, when I'm warming my fingers in this linear fashion, this makes accessible to me, all of the open position chords on the guitar become, more approachable and easier and just there for me. It makes advanced soloing concepts sort of a little easier to stomach, to palate. All right, so good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you're just popping in, I know it's a Friday. It's a nice slow roll into the morning. We're not in a rush. I can practice songs all day long, but here I have the opportunity and inspiration to actually warm up with the effective, consistent patterns that I might not do for my own. Yeah. How's Dewey? get to do it with like-minded people from all over the globe. It's kind of a special thing, a special moment in time each day. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, it is a special time. Let's do fingers 1 and 3 and 4. So 9, 11, and 12, and we'll start now. And I think you know how we talk about this finger roll piece right here? Well, this finger roll will start to work double stops. So today, I think what we're going to do is just expand our horizons a little more with something that's not so unknown and so foreign to us. We'll start using, when we get back to, after this exercise, we'll go ahead and get back to being 4-fingered guitar players. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So double stops, like remember the Los Lonely Boys, or there was a song Heaven or something like that. There's some really awesome double stop guitar parts. We'll talk a little bit about what those are. So have you seen the new Kiesel video with our friend Johnny Highland? Yeah, they're on like Facebook or whatever. You can find Kiesel, probably I forget how it's Kiesel. I don't know how they spell it, but Johnny Highland did a really cool thing with his Strat, his Tele model, and it's an alt Tele, and there's it's like he turned his guitar, he strung it with a lower like B string or something, or the lower strings, the tuning is just like almost like a baritone guitar, and he's playing that typical Telecaster country twang, but with a really low tuning. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's to be seen. It's a really remarkable clip, and it's such a wonderful idea by a wonderful musician, Mr. Highland. You know, and he's a neighbor. You know, he's kind of moved along now, but he's a neighbor. Oh, that's not what I expected. I forgot what was in that cup this morning. All right. So here we go, fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But this time, I'd like to introduce to you the double stop. So let's take a quick look right here. Let's take a short look. So we've got, you know, I'm using fingers 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And you know how we're shooting for like good finger technique and good finger posture here, don't you? Yeah, and then an important piece of what's going on here for me is to keep all of these fingers kind of like where they are. So I add one note, add another note, add another note, add another note. This note stays there until such time as this first finger moves on to the next string, and then all of the other fingers can kind of lift up and hover over the next string, you know, like no more than a 1/4 inch off of the string set. And that's really where the rubber meets the road for me. You know, it's just trying to keep everything neat and clean. And sometimes I have to slow way down. What if I don't have fingers? That's a tough one, Sean. You know, I did teach. I had a youngster roll into my office when I was a younger teacher. He rolled in on his chair, and he kind of like couldn't. Something happened with his body. It was happening with his body where his wrists were like fused together and his fingers weren't working all that well. And but that didn't stop us. You know what I mean? Just like, here, what's going to happen? He'd bring in his little Captain Underpants books and stuff. But what we did is we decided to do an open tuning on his guitar, and then so when he could strum, you know, with his fingers, he could kind of get his fingers to play these things, and we had a blast. So if you don't, if you don't have fingers and you want to play the guitar and you really want to do it, you come talk to me and we'll figure it out together, because we do solve those problems, believe it or not. Yeah. So 1 E and a 2, you know what to do. 9, 10, 11, and 12. I guess that's a really good question. What if you don't have fingers? Yeah, I get it. I have a friend who doesn't have both arms and both legs. He's a quadriplegic, and he still lives his life every day. He has prosthetic limbs, and he's one of the most successful business entrepreneurs in our state, in our beautiful state. So I wouldn't let the simple things sort of limit ourselves. There's always, sometimes the barriers seem pretty high, but we all have our own Everests to climb, don't we? And Vinny, good morning. I love the Nirvana. Nirvana. Do you know what reference I'm making there? If you must have seen some MTV in your day, right? You know what I mean by Nirvana. Sell your kids for food. Yeah, I just love Nirvana. Man, I love Nirvana. Oh my gosh. So anyway, we're almost all the way back up to the top of the 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. I try to limit my amount of sort of like punching off the trail and bushwhacking, because if you don't really know what you're doing bushwhacking, you can get lost. I have friends, I've heard the stories. I've been on the Appalachian Trail where I've heard, just the previous day, someone was traveling southbound and she got lost and, was found in her tent. And, if you're bushwhacking and you get lost, you get off that white blaze, you get off the trail, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get back on. So, that if you're stumbling in here right now, if you're scrolling in here right now, what I'm doing here is my morning ritual for guitar growth. And this is specifically a warm-up pattern. It's a warm-up existence. So I'm thinking, let's go through the rest of fingers, 1, 2, 3, stretch 4. We'll get the stretch in. And then we'll do the other stretch, the kickstand. Vinny, yeah, no problem, man, no problem. I'm here every morning, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to come and hang out, bring your guitar and warm up with me, you are more than welcome. It's free for the entire year of 2025, and I'd never seen anybody glorify warming up with the guitar, so I wanted to do this for 260 hours this year. And then I'm going to take a look at the first video I did from this series, from this live stream series. And I'm going to take a look at the last video that I do for this live stream series, and I am going to compare notes from the very first video I did to the very last video that I'm going to do, and I am going to compare and we're going to generate some longitudinal data so that we can understand what exactly is the benefit if we spend 260 hours a year warming up, or 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, warming up with a guitar. Is there any benefit? Well, I hope there's a benefit, because let's say your time's worth $100 an hour, or let's say your time's worth $10 an hour. Our time is worth $10 an hour, and times 260, that's, It's a fair chunk of change. There's some value there. You double that, and then that's pretty good. I mean, the math gets pretty. You know, the investment, the financial investment to be here is, you know, it adds up fast, right? So let's take a look at fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but this time on frets 8, 10, 11, and 12. 1 E, 2, oh, 1 C and the 2 C and the putting on my shoesies. Mark, I just missed that. I almost missed that. And okay, got it. I think I was going the wrong direction. Oh, good alternative, Christoph. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. If you don't have fingers, love poetry. A voice. Oh, man. It's 4 minutes. I-oh, it's off to work I go. I remember used to we were laboring along pretty hard and in a previous lifetime, and I remember, you know, we had a lot of stuff going along, and I used to love to whistle that. If you can imagine this, I whistle all the time. I love to whistle, and I love to think about melody and see if I can whistle melodies in tune, and so I thought hi-ho, hi-ho would be a great one to whistle while in labor. People get a kick out of it, and at least for a little while. There's a limit to most things. So we've done all of our 2 fingers. All right, so we did these, we did these, we did these. Can you do this? Oh, yes. Those are pretty important exercises to do. And then we've got this one, you know, we touch the finger to the thumb, and then we pretend that the thumb is the guitar neck, the fretboard. So for example, if I wanted to do a permutation of that pattern, that 1, 2, 3, 4 that we do, I could use fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 3, or 2 and 4, 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, and any permutation that you can think of, it's probably worth doing. We'll stretch right now and come right back to do those double stops we were promising. So let's go ahead and get a stretch in. Here we go. Thanks for getting us, Vinny, too. Thanks for getting us going with some Nirvana. Just love the melody, you know, and the simplicity of it is quite sophisticated. Yeah, trying to keep that thumb sort of like static, and then try to keep the fingers like straight, you know, the ones that we're not using, and try to keep those fingers straight and not moved at all and immobile. That helps, that really helps to add to the finger independence that we crave to develop so much as guitarists. And I like to do this exercise thinking about these as bars of music going by. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then so on and so forth. But I like to do 1, 2. I like to count them as quarter notes, so I learn how to observe time passing. Yeah, simple stuff. You know what's even more simple? Oh, a 1C and a 2C and putting on my shoesies. You're welcome, Mark. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Mark's been here for a long time. So maybe we thank Mark for being, I think we ought to just thank ourselves for making it to to this platform, and just making it to spend some time with ourselves. Like it's to me, it's mind-boggling that anybody spends any time doing anything other than the doom scroll now. You know, we're so sort of like lambasted by it. Nice job, Lex. What if we played hi ho, it's off, to work I go, in minor key? Now let's play it in like relative minor. It kind of works, doesn't it? Yeah. Happy picking to you, Mark. All right. Here's the here are the double stops that we're talking about. So now what we're trying to do is we've been working the 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, single note lines. And now what I'm trying to do is perfect the 1 and 2 notes at a time. And so you can see that causes the fingers to lay over whilst the other one arches. So we have this thing going on. I'm just going to illustrate this briefly. So the first finger becomes sort of a bar, and we'll use let's say this finger is the fretboard, and then I'm going to use this fretboard to help this finger sort of bar and lay down over 2 strings, while this other one goes up and over, and then eventually becomes the next sequence in the structure. And it sounds pretty cool on the guitar when we do it correctly. So part of what's going on to capture these, there's a little bit more to it than just kind of getting the fret hand fingers correct. As you might imagine, I'm going through a downstroke and I'm plucking these 2 strings. I'm plucking these two strings as if they were one. So I'm going through those 2 strings and I'm stopping on the next smaller string. And then the upstroke, I'm just imagining there's another string up here that I'm coming to rest on. So when we have the downstroke, the upstroke, we're going through those 2 strings with the same amount of loudness. And so that actually helps us to start thinking about the shaping and the rolling forward and the ebb and flow of the downstroke and the upstroke and the downstroke and the upstroke. Wax on, wax off. Kai Yao, good morning. How are you? Oh, Roland, yeah, Libra. Hello from Indonesia. Good morning, Wahid. Can you play a Pink Floyd song? Which one would you like to hear? Oh, I have one for you. Hold on, I have one for you from the Pink Floyd's The Wall album. Let me just get through this. Hang out for a minute. If you're still here, hang out for a minute. And if you're just tuning in, I'm Jason, I'm your host. This is my morning ritual for guitar growth. And I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Time. So you can join me anytime you'd like. These videos happen every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, for all of 2025. I know it's a little crazy when you think about it. It's a little crazy. Some fun with that kind of technique as we go, but because you are here and you're likely a new friend to us, let me just give you a little bit. So there's a little Pink Floyd for you. Thanks for asking. Oh, you like those exercises, man? Yeah. I know, Lex. Those are just fun. They're so fun to do. They're not without their pain, though. So much fun with the guitar. Marco's in the house. What is going on? How about the what is that? So boy, it's hard to play that song at 60 beats per minute. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can get it super clean. Hey! Teacher, please little song. Yeah, just so many gems on that record. I remember listening to that record the first time I heard it. I'll tell that story, and it's probably a similar story to what you guys have. But let's take a look at just kind of keeping this show rolling here. Do you have an opinion on Ovation guitar? I love Ovation guitars. Yeah, absolutely. The great Al Di Meola plays Ovation, and they're so. I have a friend. I've never owned. I don't know if I've owned one. Maybe I've owned some and then resold or whatever. But they're cool guitars. Yeah, they're really cool guitars. What a great idea. Are you thinking about, do you have one, or do you know someone who's getting one? We need guitar education. I guess I'm going to do the rake exercise. Yeah, that's pretty close for that. Now, I think for the last 10 or 12 minutes, maybe we'll just start working on, I know we've been working on pentatonic stuff. I know we've also been working on C major arpeggios, the major 6-string arpeggios from major. But I think where are we going right now? So we have like 10 or 11 minutes left, and let's take a look at keeping those double stops going with the pentatonic system. So you know the minor pentatonic shape that we all sort of know and love so well. So we've been doing this, but let's go ahead and turn it into, let's turn it into that. So we're thinking the two notes on this side of the scale and the two notes on that side of the scale. And then we'll go up, we'll use, here's the George Van Epps method so that I don't confuse myself. So if I want to keep the guitar organized, as organized as possible. So I'll think about this. I have this string group here, string group 1, string group 2, string group 3, string group 4, and string group 5. These are two string groupings, and they're contiguous strings. We're not doing the string skips, because that would be string group 1 here, string group 2 here, string group 3 and 4. But we're using the strings that are together for now. And then this is all stuff that we could do to any pattern that we already know. So it's that same that's that same picking hand sequence that is going to make or break us. You know, we're going through the 2 strings and then stopping on the next smaller string, coming up through the next 2 strings, but I'm not going way up here liberally with this. I'm just stopping right after the next. As soon as my pick passes through that low E string, I'm just imagining that there's another string up here that I'm running into. Have all kinds of fun with it, and you can see that the more cleanly we can execute, the more clean our execution, the better it is for the listening experience. Know how to do that in each pentatonic position, right? That's kind of the name of the game, so that we have that full contact sport emerging. So if we need to dig a little deeper and get that turf spitting up from our cleats, you know, as we push forward, we need to know, you know, sure, I got that pattern, I know that pattern, I know where I'm going to be on the field when. So does the quarterback, and guess what? We're going to connect that pass, you know. Or rugby. Oh man, what a sport rugby is. Wow. Turning Japanese. Yes, that's right. Dow 7th. So we've got the, you know, we did talk about, you know, and we've been working on hybrid picking sequences. So we'll take that same idea. Have you been working on anything new, Marco? So we'll take that idea, the double stops, and then we'll distribute those instead of on neighboring or contiguous strings. We'll go ahead and just kind of separate those with the thumb playing the lower note, the thumb and index holding the pick, of course. We'll play the lower note, and then the middle finger will go ahead, or the third finger, ring finger, or fourth finger, whatever. But in this case, it'll be my middle finger kind of plucking the note that's skipped the string above it. You've been working on your Ranger? Nice. You know rust is preventable, right? Yeah, you know that. It's curable, yeah. And that's just attention. It's just attention. I love hearing people. I have several 30-year-old cars, you know, a few I'll just say a few 30-year-old cars. And it's really important to just, I love hearing that other people take care of their cars and don't throw them away, you know what I mean? It's always like, alternate them too. And we can offset those, and it creates a really great effect. Really great effect. Those kinds of techniques are just super, super powerful on the guitar. Any guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, cheap El Cheapo box guitar, you know, it's all good. Aman, Panda, good morning. Yeah, I rented the garage, good. Place to, how to place your hand while playing solos. Oh, are you still here? If you're still here, we can talk about that for the last 3 minutes. The old stuff is best. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome, away from the city. Good for you. Good for you, man. Yeah, good for you. And to have the know-how and the tools and just to kind of like immerse yourself in the experience, Marco, that's like a dream come true, man. It's hard to beat that, dude. Congratulations. Love to see any progress made. I know it's kind of, you know, it's not guitar, but you can always email me pictures if you like. It's grow, G-R-O-W, at jasoncareyguitar.com. And, so are you still here, Aman, about how to hold your hands during solos? Oh, okay, good. All right, so let's do that. Whenever I play the lower string, the lower A string, my palm touches the upper E string. Is that normal? Yeah, that's a control factor. So part of what we're going to talk about here real quick is you can choke the strings out, or you can palm mute the strings. And that really depends on where your hand is on the, you could be way back here with no palm mute. Start creeping the air out onto the string set. If you come too far, it's going to choke the strings out. So I try to keep my palm parallel to the saddle here, parallel to that. And that way I can either, I know I can sort of like choke some of the strings and then not others, and then vice versa, or choke all of them. So you can experiment with choke, but I wanted to talk about the opening solo to the opening notes from Sweet, it's not Sweet Home Alabama. And then we'll stop there, but the hand is going to be like this. The hand has got to be like this. It's got to be sort of like the thumb in the middle. Hello. Thumb is waving at you through the tube. It's between the first and, you know, the median between the first and fourth fingers. And then that basically is, thumb is behind the fretboard like this, maybe, you know, kind of down here, you know, in this area, so that you can see that if I pull the thumb back here, that it smears, it causes my fingers to sort of smear against the fretboard. If I lower my thumb, you can see that it gives me all this space. But then also at the same time, I have this beautiful reach now. Instead of being able to reach, you know, maybe 3 or 4 frets, I drop the thumb down here. I can use the thumb as a pivot point to reach back to fret number 1. Thumb never moves. And I can reach, you know, 1 to 13. You have an octave reach just by pivoting that thumb. I hope that was helpful, okay? Come back tomorrow. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And for the entirety of 2025, good Lord willing, if you don't mind, you could really help me out. You can do me a huge favor right now. It doesn't cost you anything. double tap the screen or just smash that like button. I'd love to have that support. And thank you very much. And Marco, let's see, Pentatonic. Keep working the Pentatonic, and hopefully Amon, that helped out. And once the frame is blasted and painted, the satisfaction pays off. You're really doing that? You're doing that kind of work. Palm muting comes in handy at times. All right, gang. I really hope you have a super weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Keep an eye out on the channel for some Ted Green chord chemistry tomorrow, or Sunday. There's also a minor pentatonic feature dropping this weekend, which you'll love. Free tablature downloads and all that stuff. So we'll see you again soon. And don't be a stranger.